So here I'm using the glossy primer from PA's as I want flawless glowy look for this video. For the base, I'm using the Black Radiance foundation in the shade Butterscotch. It is a lightweight medium coverage foundation that lasts for a longer time. If you are using a beauty blender to blend, dab the whole thing all over your face. And if you are using a brush, make sure you stroke downwards. For concealing, I'm using the PA's concealer in the shade Toffee, which matches the medium warm skin tones perfectly. Again, it gives you a medium coverage and feels non-greasy on your face. Make a parallel straight line along your nose and join it to the extended line at the corner of your eyes so that it forms a triangle. Cover your dark areas like beside the nose, chin, eyelids and the edge of your lips, and if you have any other dark spots other than that, feel free to cover it with the concealer. Blend the concealer well by dabbing it all over your face with a beauty blender. Then set the concealer with a face powder, translucent powder and any other setting powder to avoid creasing. Always dust away the excess products if you are using any translucent powder or a setting powder. Now I am using the MAC All the Right Angles Contour Palette to contour my face and make it look sharper. So here I am using my fingers to draw the lines around my cheeks, foreheads and other parts. I'll take a thin brush to draw the lines along my nose and then blend it out. Here in this video, I'll show both the blending with a beauty blender and a brush. So you can do whichever way you're comfortable with. Now I'll start by doing my brows with Maybelline Fashion Brow Duo in the shade Medium Brown. It has this pencil on one side and a sponge on the other side, which really helps you to fill the gaps. This one is just an extra step. I personally like to brush my brows with a spoolie to align the hairs. Once again, I'm using the contour palette to define the hollow of my cupid bow. Later on, I'll use the highlighter to highlight the bridge of it. Now I'm using my concealer to highlight the bridge of my nose to make it look more sharper. Next, I'm using my PA's First Base Shadow Primer. You can also use a concealer instead of using this, which works great. Then I'll begin with tapping on the new shade of this eyeshadow palette from MAC to cover my lid, which will set the primer. And the lighter shade to underline my brows. Again, you can replace this with a concealer. Now I'm moving on to the highlighter in this peachy shade to highlight the brow bones. take a brownish shade to intensify the crease lines. Never start by using the darkest shade even if you want to. Always start with the comparatively lightest shade, then gradually keep moving to the darker. Now there is a hack. If you are not sure enough, you can use an inch of a tape angle from the corner of your eye to secure the area you want to apply the eyeshadow. Now I'll apply some more brown again along the crease and blend it down along the semicircle of the eyelid to give it some depth. Always remember it will be faded as it approaches the inner corner and denser in the outer side. Now I'll apply an ivory shadow. You can use concealer as well to neutralize the inner lid so that we can get the true color of the shade we will use inside and it doesn't get mixed with the prevalent or the natural color of the eye. Don't swipe it with the brush, keep dabbing it gently in the inner lid. Now I'll tap on the mauve and gently dab it over the ivory part. When you're done with the inner part, mix both the edges of mauve and brown for a neutral ombre look. In case you haven't used a tape, you might have some fallouts. Dust it off with a fluffy brush and apply concealer in an angled straight line which will work as an eraser. Now I'll use the Maybelline gel eyeliner and start by covering the waterlines below the lid for a natural look. Generally, gel liners comes with a brush, otherwise you can always use an angled brush to avoid it. Now I'll apply some blush from MAC on the apple of my cheeks. You can use whatever you have. The next comes my favorite part, which is highlighting, and I'll put it on the highest positions of my face. And as I said, now I'm drawing the bridge of the cupid bow with the same highlighter. Here I'm using the Lash Paradise Mascara by L'Oreal Paris before putting falsies. And spray any kind of setting spray you have all over your face once you are done with the makeup. Here I'm using the one from PAC which really helps my makeup to stay for a long time.